Thank you for coming here this morning. 5D cutting in and out on the microphone, but I'll work with it. Thank you for coming here and your patience. We're working out technical difficulties and getting long wires to hook up to the. There's a lot of work involved in doing these conferences. I'm Eric the Healer. I'm from Sacramento. I've known Saeed for, I've lost count, almost 40 years, I guess. I've been going to UFO conferences and different conferences and seeing the same guy and keep meeting each other, and we laugh because we've already met each other. And my father's Iranian, my mom's Norwegian. I speak Farsi, so when I started speaking Farsi with him, he said, "Oh, you're that guy." Well, we kept seeing each other, and now we like to do the conference. It's a microphone that belongs to here, so it's been dropped a lot. Cutting in and out, and it bothers me, but I like the little challenges to work with, and you just have to go with the flow and be a surfer of the universe, because nothing happens by chance or accident, and we're here for a reason. It's no mistake you're here today. Magic. Okay, good. We're gonna switch mics, and that's a magical thing. Excellent.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's much better. It is? Is it louder? Okay, good. I'll work this one. Yeah, I need to be louder, and I'll work it. There it is, right there. Okay. So these are directional microphones, and you have to find the right direction. So thank you for coming here, and your patience is appreciated. We're going to work out all these bugs, and I promise you a great time. I'm here to have fun, so that means that you're going to have fun too. And, your happiness is up to you and no one else. You can't blame anybody if you're not happy. And as I was saying, I've known Saeed for a long time. And when I grew up, I was born in America, but I grew up in Iran. And when I was living in Iran, I was lucky to have some relatives, Dr. Tehrani, that was the leader of the Sufi order in Tehran, or he was some head of the thing, and everybody went to his house, and they paid him with a rug, and they did their forecasting, they told their fortune, I guess. And this room was off limits in the back, kids weren't allowed, and I had to get in there, and they couldn't catch me because I was pretty fast. And I ran to the corner of the room where the rugs were stacked that people pay to have their fortune told and whatever. I climbed up on top of the rugs, and I heard them say, "Bizabasha," leave them alone, because I was fast. I ran up the rugs, and I looked down the stack of rugs, and I watched them, what they were doing. And there was a little girl. She was older than me. She was probably she was in her early teens, just maybe starting teenager. But she was turning, she was spinning, and she spun into a trance and then collapsed on the floor. And then they started asking her questions. Should my father sell? Should I bring my brother into the business? Or should I sell my business? And they asked all kinds of business questions out of her, and she spoke differently than she normally spoke. And I watched this happen, and it left an impression on me. Growing up in a different country, you have all the Aesop's fables, and you hear the stories. I had a nanny, and she told me a story every night before I went to bed. And when she went to the bathhouse every week, I asked her to learn some new stories. And she would have this triangular folded newspaper with green powder in it, which was henna. And she'd go to the bathhouse, and she'd meet all the other nannies, I guess, and they'd swap stories and learn new stories. And I always loved the stories of flying rugs. And I knew that it was true because I remembered my dreams that I was flying. But when I tried to tell my parents when I woke up, they would laugh at me. And I couldn't show them that I tried to go fly, and I couldn't get it going, And there were so many rugs in Iran, and I had to test them all out, and and sit on them. Every one I found, I had to try to get them going, you know. And I couldn't get the rugs going and flying, but one night I really think I got it going, and it was with my dream and my astral projection. Wow. And I went out there. I'll try not to raise my hand too much. I have a lot of energy. And just last month, I was watching a YouTube channel called Flat Earth British, and he had a show on about magic flying rugs, magic flying carpets. And I got so excited. I said, oh my God. And I watched it, and it turns out that it really is true. I learned a link. I got a link from Ancient Library in his website. Just type in at YouTube, Flat Earth British. He's not British though, he's really from Wales, he's Welsh. But Flat Earth British, and then type in magic flying carpet, and that show will pop up, and watch it. And in the explanation, there's a link to Ancient Library links where you can go in there and look, and then you type in the window magic flying rugs, and then all these explanations showed up of world travelers that went around and saw these things. And it turns out that these world travelers went to Alexandrian Library, where they kept a stack of these flying rugs for their patrons to use and fly with the rug around and get the books off the shelves and read the books on the flying rugs. And they even said how they made these flying rugs. They had these rare minerals and orgonite, orgone. And orgone energy is what Wilhelm Reich was talking about. And it turns out that, you know, I'm learning all these new technologies, meeting all these vendors, and doing it, being a pioneer in the movement since before internet with Said, going to all these shows and meeting him, that I learned about tensor, scalar, quantum energies, and orgonite. And Wilhelm Reich is where they get the orgone energy to America. He came and he made these cloud busters. And orgone is basically, you have resin that you get like at a craft shop, Michael's, if they have Michael's around here. And then you put little flakes of metal. The first way I learned, which wasn't the best, is metal shavings and expensive double-pointed crystals. But then it was too expensive to keep buying the double-pointed crystals, and it turns out if you get Arkansas is the best sand, the quartz sand. And if you magnify it 250, 300 times, you can see that they're all little mini double-pointed crystals. It's free or cheap. And it impermeates it, so it's much stronger. So in this resin, you have to throw sand, quartz sand. Really, I learned with the quartz crystals, but there was only one or two, you know. But now you have like hundreds of them impermeating. And instead of metal shavings, use metal powder. Metal powder also impermeates the orgonite. And then it becomes a transformational healing tool. And see, it turns out that orgone is what's the energy that is in the ether. And you can use it if you throw this stuff into a copper pipe and point it up towards a cloud. It'll burn a hole in the cloud. And you can try this yourself. It'll burn the hole in a cloud because it's really not a cloud, it's a chemtrail. Okay? It came out of a plane, it got fat. It's barium, strontium, nanoaluminum. And this nanoaluminum is human, you know, it's alien. And only large corporations that are like military, government, high positions can get this nanoaluminum. And they use it because when they microwave it, the ionosphere, it heats up and it gets rid of the moisture in the clouds so it doesn't rain, and it goes and it makes floods further down wherever they blow. So what you want to do is detox this stuff, because this aluminum crosses our blood-brain barrier and gets into our body, and it becomes the antenna for 5G. And this 5G is what is called the beast. And you have to get rid of your smart meters because it's really not so smart, okay? It turns out all the things that are smart are really stupid, okay? Smart. This is working on the best on this side. Good. Sure, we'll try it. If we can have another mic that's better, I'll work on a wire one. But let me tell you what the SMART stands for. It's secret, militarized,